The bidding ended in less than 3 minutes. I wasn't even planning to win. I came for the experience. I'd been watching storage auction videos for months, reading forums, learning how it actually worked. Most units were unpaid for 90 days before being listed. The renter was notified multiple times. Then the lock was cut in front of bidders. You could only look from the doorway, no touching, no digging. Unit 47, cash only, as is, no access before purchase. The facility was older, on the edge of an industrial district. Westfield storage, faded sign, security cameras that looked newer than the buildings. The metal door of Unit 47 was rusted at the bottom. The original lock had clearly been cut months ago and replaced with the facility's standard latch. A yellow sticker showed the delinquency date. No one knew who stopped paying for it. The manager claimed the renter had gone silent, no forwarding address. No one cared, except me. Inside, from what little I could see, there weren't trash bags or broken mattresses like in most units. I saw wooden crates, covered furniture, organized stacks. 500. Someone behind me scoffed. 700. Silence. The auctioneer looked around. Sold. My stomach dropped. That wasn't part of the plan. I paid in cash, signed the standard form. The contract clearly stated contents only, no guarantees. Personal documents must be returned to the facility office if found. The storage manager handed me the key. Most of these are junk, he said. Old furniture. People overestimate what they leave behind. He wasn't wrong. At first. I lifted the garage door slowly. It screeched in protest. The smell hit me. Oil, leather, dust, paper that had been sitting untouched for months. I stood still and let my eyes adjust. Stacked wooden crates, 2 metal filing cabinets, a vintage trunk with reinforced corners, a garment rack wrapped in plastic. Everything was clean. No random clutter, no fast food wrappers, no chaotic packing. It looked intentional, like someone stored valuables, not leftovers. I stepped fully inside and shut the door behind me halfway for privacy. That's when I noticed the first detail. A leather case on top of one crate. Dark brown, high quality, not something bought at a mall. The monogram wasn't scribbled, it was embossed in gold. W-R-H. 3 letters. My pulse quickened. I opened it carefully. Inside were 6 watches, mechanical, heavy, Swiss brands I recognized even from a distance. The weight alone told me they were real. Each had documentation, certificates, serial numbers. This wasn't flea market stuff. Then I found a flat document box. Inside were auction receipts from Geneva, London, Hong Kong, private sale documentation, appraisals. The name on the paperwork made my hands go cold. William R. Hargrove, tech investor, venture capitalist, board member in 3 global companies, declared dead 6 months ago in a private plane crash. I actually checked my phone right there inside the unit. The news articles were still online. Philanthropist and billionaire William R. Hargrove confirmed dead. I looked back at the crates. This wasn't junk. This was controlled storage of high-value assets, and I just bought it for $700. Then I heard footsteps outside, slow, measured, stopping right in front of Unit 47. I'd lowered the door halfway and turned off the portable light I brought. The footsteps stopped. A knock. Not aggressive, not rushed. Confident. "Ma'am?" I didn't respond. Another knock. "We believe this unit may contain property belonging to the Hargrove estate." The word estate hit differently when you're standing inside a garage full of Swiss watches. "I purchased this unit legally at auction," I said through the metal. There was a pause, not confused, calculated. "We understand that. We're prepared to discuss appropriate compensation." Compensation. So they knew what was inside. "How did you know someone bought it?" I asked through the metal. Silence. That told me everything. Storage auctions aren't publicly broadcast in detail. Only bidders attend. Results aren't advertised, which meant someone had been monitoring this unit specifically. I lifted the door slightly and looked through the gap. Black SUV, clean, no company logos, temporary tag. 2 men, one speaking to me, the other scanning the parking lot. That wasn't a law firm recovery team. That was private security. I sent a quick text to my friend Lena. "If anything weird happens, Unit 47, Westfield Storage." She replied immediately. "What did you buy?" Inside the unit, I searched more carefully. Jewelry cases, sealed envelopes. Then I found a small fireproof safe bolted to the concrete. And inside one of the cabinets, a passport. Not expired, different name, same face as William Hargrove. That's when my brain stopped trying to rationalize it. He wasn't dead, he disappeared. The knock came again. "We can make this easy." Easy meant I would sign something and walk away quietly. Easy meant I'd never know the truth. I suddenly understood something else. If they truly represented the estate, they would have come with official documents, lawyers, court orders. Instead, they came with pressure, and that meant I had leverage. I couldn't leave the contents there overnight. Legally, once I bought it, I was responsible for clearing the unit within 48 hours. But if these men were watching, I needed a smarter approach. I called the facility office and reported 2 men harassing a buyer. That forced them to log the complaint. Then I called the police, not about the valuables, but about suspicious individuals attempting to interfere with private property. When a patrol car pulled in, the SUV drove away within seconds. That confirmed they didn't want official interaction. I didn't hire random movers. I called a licensed estate liquidation company. Higher cost, NDA option available. "Anything valuable?" the coordinator asked. "Possibly," I said carefully. They sent a truck with inventory forms and insurance coverage. While loading, one of the workers whispered, "This stuff is high-end." I know. We photographed everything, documented serial numbers, signed transfer sheets. If this turned legal, I needed paperwork. Halfway to my house, I noticed headlights behind us. Same SUV. Not aggressive, just present. Close enough to be seen, far enough to deny harassment. At a red light, my phone rang. Unknown number. "You're escalating this unnecessarily," the voice said calmly. "If you represent the estate, send legal documents," I replied. A pause. "You bought access, not ownership." Legally, that wasn't entirely true. Storage auction laws vary by state. Buyers typically obtain rights to contents after lien sale, which meant they were trying to intimidate me into voluntary surrender. The light turned green. They stayed behind us all the way to my street. That night, I opened one sealed envelope. Inside was a letter. Not dramatic, not cinematic, typed, signed, dated. It explained that Hargrove had uncovered large-scale financial manipulation within one of his companies, offshore accounts, political funding channels, shell corporations. He suspected internal betrayal. The plane crash report, according to the letter, was falsified. The storage unit was a contingency plan, evidence separated from his primary residence, assets held as leverage. If the letter was genuine, I was sitting in the middle of a corporate war. The final paragraph: if you are reading this and I have not contacted you personally, do not trust anyone claiming to represent my estate. Contact the law firm listed below. It listed a real international firm. The next day, I verified the firm independently. Then I called. 2 hours later, I received a return call from a senior partner. Calm, direct. They requested documentation of what I had found. 3 days later, a woman arrived at my house, not alone this time, with legal ID, with paperwork. She showed me court filings sealed from public record. Then she showed me something else, a live encrypted call. William Hargrove, alive, thinner, grayer, but real. He thanked me. The SUV men were not estate representatives. They were connected to the internal group he was building a case against. My purchase triggered a chain reaction. Over the next weeks, federal authorities became involved, financial regulators, international cooperation. The contents of Unit 47 were transferred under legal supervision. I didn't keep the watches, I didn't keep the jewelry, but under state lien sale law, I was entitled to compensation for lawful acquisition and cooperation. 3 months later, a wire transfer hit my account, large enough to change my life, fully documented, legal. What started as a $700 gamble turned into the most terrifying month of my life. Sometimes I still drive past Westfield Storage. Unit 47 has a new renter, clean lock, no yellow sticker. And every time I see it, I remember one thing. Storage units don't always hold junk. Sometimes they hold secrets people were willing to fake their own death to protect.